Hi, I am Dr. Bonnie Clipper, the Chief Clinical Officer at Wambi. Today, I am here with Dr. Rose Sherman, Nursing Leadership Development thought leader and author. We want to take a few moments to share some insight, gratitude, and inspiration with you. Rose, thank you for taking time to be with me today.
Bonnie, it's good to be with you. There's some irony that the World Health Organization declared 2020 as the year of the nurse to coincide with Florence Nightingale's 200th birthday. Because I don't think any of us expected or could even have predicted 6 months ago that we would be where we are here today with COVID-19. It has just been extremely challenging in some good ways and in some not so good ways. And I don't think the public, at least in the near present, will ever again question what nurses do. I think they know. It's become really clearly evident, and that's such a good thing. And the word that we keep repeatedly hearing is heroes, because that's the story that we're seeing around the world about nursing. And it's kind of interesting, just a few minutes ago, Bonnie, I was watching something from the American Association of Critical Care Nurses, and their motto for this year is unstoppable. And I thought, I don't think they could have come up with a better word than what their critical care nurses are confronting right now. At the same time that the decisions have been made about the pandemic, we know that some of our nurses have been placed at risk and are really confronting some serious moral dilemmas. And we can't lose sight of that. We really can't. And I think nurse leaders are really struggling. I mean, that's the group that I work with. They're struggling with how to manage this pandemic, recognizing that their nurses are placed at risk and are confronting some serious moral dilemmas. And so, my advice is always, really focus on what matters. And I like to look at the research that Gallup has done, and they've studied leadership for decades. And they contend that, the 4 pillars of leadership are really still critical in today's environment. The first one, being trust. That staff, nurses need to trust in their leadership. This is really key at this point in time. And so I think this clear and frequent communication, and many leaders are practicing that in a really good way, is essential when there are so many what I call unknown unknowns. So leaders need to communicate the uncertainty, because there's many answers we don't have at this point in time. The second thing that Gallup tells us is that stability is very important, and stability is hard today because it's hard to give the staff the stability and the answers that they want. And at this point, I don't think that most nurses expect that of their leaders. But what they don't want us to be is erratic in our decision making. They need to see us show up the same day after day. So that matters. The third thing that Gallup tells us is important is the whole idea around compassion. Really the idea of showing that you care and being very appreciative at this point in time. And that's not only appreciative of staff, but really appreciative of one another. We really always need to let people understand and know that we appreciate what they're doing and we know how hard the work really is. And then the last thing that leaders need to provide, according to Gallup, is this whole idea around hope. And, it's interesting because Napoleon said that leaders are really dealers in hope. That's what they are. And I think that's especially important in this crisis situation. We know that when we feel hope, we feel more resilient, innovative, and agile. So we have to be very hopeful, both as a profession and as leaders. Otherwise, fear can be contagious. We know that. So these needs, I think, are especially urgent during this crisis, and these are the kinds of traits that people are looking for in their leaders today, to kind of give them the signal that things will be okay. And I do believe that we will move through this challenging time, Bonnie. And I think, if anything, what it's proven to us is that strong leadership really matters more than ever.
Yeah, those are great insights. And I think those benefit not only our frontline healthcare heroes, but leaders as well. So
Mhm.
thanks, Rose, for that today. That's incredibly helpful and powerful for all of us to remember. Where can people find you on social media?
Okay, well, there's a few places that you can find me. I'm active on LinkedIn, so I would urge you, if you're interested, to connect with me on LinkedIn. I also have a blog that I write twice a week. It's called Emerging RN Leader. I've been writing that blog for 9 years and have about 5,000 followers on that blog, and have been actively writing through this pandemic about some of the challenges that leaders face. And then the third thing, and this is something new, Bonnie, that I've taken, I think that crises really present us with opportunities to try our hands at things that maybe we didn't have time to do before. So I've just recently set up a YouTube channel. And I just put up this past week a YouTube on team nursing revisited, because it's really now coming back. And many of us, it's been years since we've really looked at it.
Yeah, that's a little bit of the blast from the past there.
Yep, for sure.
Wow. Well, thanks for that, Rose. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. I'm Dr. Bonnie Clipper, and remember, at Wambi, moments move us.